Welcome back. In business news, all companies here in Singapore must have a clear process for flexible work arrangement requests from this December. This includes small and medium businesses. It's the latest move by the tripartite work group consisting of government, unions and employer groups. And it hopes to set the tone for shaping norms and expectations for different forms of work styles. The report will also include other recommendations like resources and training to make an easier transition. The guidelines will only cover formal requests. New employees might still be subject to regular work arrangements to train and build team rapport. However, all employees who have completed their probation period can make an application. While the guidelines are mandatory, employers will not face legal action if they reject an employee's request. The Manpower Ministry says that the new move is a way to create a win-win situation for employers and employees alike.
We believe that in this next few years, it's more important for us to focus on enabling and equipping workplaces and employers, as well as the workers too, so that flexible arrangements can be implemented in a sustainable way and in a win-win way.
Now, under the new guidelines, companies need to define the process when workers make a written request. Employers must make clear on the types of flexible work arrangements that will apply to the company or job roles. Upon receiving requests, employers must give a written decision within 2 months. If the request is rejected, a relevant reason must be given. The tripartite guidelines report will also share the acceptable grounds for rejecting. If workers feel that a request was not properly assessed, they can turn to the Tripartite Alliance for Fair and Progressive Employment Practices for assistance. There are several types of flexible work arrangements that employees can choose from. These will depend on the sector that they work in and a worker's job scope as well. There are 3 broad categories. The first kind is flexi place. And this means where an employee works from can vary, but there are no changes in the total work hours or workload. This is most suited for office-based roles. Working from home is the most common example of flexi-place arrangement. Employees can also choose flexible work hours. With flexi-time, the total workload remains the same, while the location may or may not change. This is suitable for more kinds of work environments, such as an office or even a retail shop. Staggered work hours is among choices, as jobs that require shift work can also look into this option. The third category, that is known as Flexiload. This affects both total work hours and workload. If employees cut their hours, there'll be a proportionate reduction in pay. This arrangement can be adopted by both office-based and frontline workers. And here's a look at how 2 companies are implementing different types of flexible working arrangements at the workplace. While warehouse packers can't work remotely, this exports company comes up with other ways to offer FWAs.
We allow multiple routes of FWAs through different mediums, shorter working hours when they need to, staggered working hours, or sometimes maybe they can reschedule the days which they need to take off, for example. It's just being flexible with the schedules they have to work with.
Still, the firm says take-up rate is low, as employees aren't sure if and how they can make such requests.
通常他们如果有需要，他们会来问我啦，等我就尽量能够帮助到他们的问题啦，能够解决他的问题咯。如果我觉得他的要求是可以的，我就会尽量帮忙他们咯。真的是有这种 package 的话，我们可以让我的员工知道说，我们也能够尽量的帮助他们咯。
For McDonald's, it's offering FWAs to all employees. Ms. Rumiyati is a mother to a 7-year-old girl who's chosen to work flexible shifts as she's pursuing a part-time diploma course in retail.
So I took 10 months to go for the classes, and actually I discussed this with my restaurant manager, and he actually let me work in the morning, and then after 6 I can attend my class for 10 months online. I get to spend more time with my family, my girl.
The firm says there's little business impact as it can adjust rosters accordingly or deploy staff to outlets that need more help.
If it's something that is very crucial to their personal life or they need it and they explain the details to us, we'll definitely approve it and work on an arrangement that can be done at the back end.
He adds that the upcoming guideline provides a structure for discussion on when, where and how much to work, making it easier for both employees and the management. An association representing small and medium businesses says that some firms may face disruptions to work processes or manpower planning, even with these guidelines in place.
SMEs are in a firefighting situation. They are busy, their priorities, and trying to figure out where policy affects them and affects existing process is usually not on very high on the list of priorities. So that would be a challenge.
Now, to help firms adapt to these changes, the Singapore National Employers Federation says that it will double down on efforts to redesign jobs and allow more to take up FWAs.
Leading up to the adoption at year end, we will be continuing our efforts to have clinics and dialogue sessions to educate members and companies to understand the mechanics of these guidelines. And we will also be continuing our efforts in rolling out training so as to enable companies to effectively harness FWA as a talent attraction and retention tool.